Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Hope Watts, board certified family physician, health coach, speaker, author, and lifestyle expert. I help women with common chronic diseases find the right diets and the right fitness level so they can lose weight and be the persons that they've always wanted to be and change their lifestyles. So I hope everybody's trying to be cool because it is hot out here. It's been like 90 almost every single day. And I think sometimes it goes down to maybe 70 if it rains. Other than that, it'll go down to 85. So I'm trying to stay as cool as possible so that I don't get overheated. So fortunately, I'm in an air-conditioned place, and you know how these places are. You know, one place is part of the same place is like freezing cold, and the other side of the place is just hot, or just you're in the room, and some of these rooms are small, so you just have to do the best you can under the circumstances. So, but I do not want to be over in California and out west where they're having the fires, because it is sometimes very difficult to breathe out there, even if you're not in any of those fires or your house is not at risk. That smoke that kind of comes over the sky can really cause some distressful breathing. So my heart goes out to the people in the Midwest. Many have lost houses on more than one occasion because the wildfires are getting more and more destructive. They are getting more and more, I would say, more intense. And it's because of the changes in our weather patterns. And some people don't believe that there are some changes, climate changes, that are affecting us. Even though we keep saying it's the new normal, something is changing and people are realizing that. So, but without further ado, I will let you know what we're talking about today. We're talking about the benefits of strength training. Now, before I start, I just want to let you know, strength training or resistance training does not mean you're going to be bulky or bulk up. That only comes if you want to. Women can get into bodybuilding just like men can. And some women have more of a physique that lends itself to that. And they can get into bodybuilding. We're not talking about that. We're just talking about women with light weights, 4 to 5 pounds. Some people can go up to 8 pounds. And just to keep you in good shape and to keep your muscles strong so that you're able to do a lot of things. But there's some other benefits that go with it. So strength training improves muscle strength and flexibility, and it gives you a fitness level that you may not have had before. And I'll just tell you my story. I thought cardio was everything. You could lose weight with cardio. You could do everything with cardio. And I was working, going to a place that started to offer strength training. And I said, And I said, well, I was asking those questions. Is it going to be bodybuilding? I mean, are you going to have bulky muscles? Because I realized I wasn't going to get bulky. And they said, no, it's just to strengthen the muscles that you have. And it'll help you lose weight. And I was like, okay, I'll just try it. And I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. And I didn't realize that it had so many other benefits besides that, especially helping you keep your weight off because it helps you burn calories. And not too long, early this week, we talked about ways to build up your metabolic rate. And that's the amount and that's the energy that's burned off every day while you're sitting down. But just imagine, just lifting weights, it's going to burn off even more energy. So this is a plus for everyone. So resistance comes, you can use resistance bands, you can use kettlebells, you can use weight machines. But most people have some kind of weights or free weights at home they can use to do just routine stuff. And what happens is, and we talked about this before, sometimes you have a set, and a set usually has a certain amount of repetitions in it. So you can have one set with maybe 12 repetitions in there. And that helps you strengthen the muscle, helps you tone the muscle, because the muscles adapt. The muscles adapt to the type of load you put on it. So if you're using a 7-pound weight, your body starts to feel what's going on, and it adapts to that, and it gets stronger. So strength training is good for people of all ages. Now, hi Pam, how are you? I'm glad to see you. So it's good for people of all ages, and as we talk, we'll kind of touch on all the other benefits. The one main thing that I need to let you know is that it prevents the decline. Glad to hear it, Pam. It helps the decline of your muscle mass. And women, it affects women a lot more than men because women have less muscle mass to start with. So let me repeat that again. It helps prevent the decline in muscle mass for women. And it works for both sexes, but women have less muscle than men. It also helps with chronic conditions such as diabetes, arthritis, heart disease, and obesity. So weightlifting, just on the top of it seems weightlifting or resistance training, and resistance, we're going to use resistance and strength training interchangeably because you can do the same with both. Okay, so strength training makes you stronger because, as we said before, you're picking up a dumbbell, and as you pick it up, you can feel it, your body feels it. But as you do more of those repetitions with it, as you do those curls, your body feels it and it adapts to it and it gets stronger. The other thing it does, it protects against bone loss and the muscle mass, as we said. By the time you turn age 30, you are already starting to lose muscle mass, especially women. 3 to 5%. Every 10 years, you're going to lose another 3 to 5% of your muscle mass, okay? So, and many of you have seen women, older women, they look really frail looking. You look at their muscles and you'll see things dangling like right under here, and their skin is floppy because they haven't taken the time to develop their muscles and keep up with them. So if they fall or something, they have these catastrophic falls, they'll break this, they'll have more than one bone broken because they haven't kept up or paid attention to that part of their physical fitness. So it improves functional performance, weight training, strength training, bone density, and it helps, especially women who are in menopause. So around 40, 45, we start recommending that women start doing strength training because of this decline in the muscle mass. And it's so subtle. I know for a fact that many physicians don't even recommend this for their menopausal women. Bone density is not even an issue anymore. I don't see people doing their bone density scans. I don't see that happening. And I go to quite a few different places when I practice, and I've noticed that, they may just get an x-ray, a chest x-ray, and the chest x-ray says the bones are thinning, and that's when they get a bone density scan when it should have been done at age 65. So as you can see, there are ways to maintain your physique without bulking up. You can just do some regular exercise. I used to have this, and I'm not sure if that's around anymore, but it was called Lose Weight with Strength Training. And I did that at home, and I had a class where I did even more strength training, and that was with when you're pushing the weights above your head and you're coordinating with music. That requires a lot more attention to what's going on. But this is another thing that weight training does. It helps you keep your balance. And so when you hear people just falling down or so, and sometimes only 2 steps, I'll hear patients say, well, I was walking down the steps and I just fell. And I said, well, was there a banister there? Yeah, the banister was there, but I just don't remember because they don't have good balance. And weightlifting helps with balance. And so that's why we need to start doing that earlier, because it has a lot of benefits that I think we've kind of forgotten about. And we think cardio is everything. I used to think that, but I don't think that anymore. Okay, so strength training helps burn calories more efficiently. Now, men have more muscle mass than women do. And so if they start to lose weight, they usually lose more weight than women. And women are mad and all this kind of stuff, but women need to learn they need to build muscle too. So this is how it happens. When you're doing your exercises, you're doing your bicep curls or some other weightlifting exercise, your body, the more you work out, the more energy is expanded. Okay. And so the more energy you put into exerting your body while you're exercising is the same amount of exertion that occurs afterwards. Well, let me rephrase that. The more energy you expand when you are weightlifting is the more energy you're going to expand or be using up when you're resting. Because if you're doing an intense workout with weights, even after you finish using those weights, your body is still going to be burning up calories. So that's something women need to really understand, that cardio is good because you burn calories with cardio. But when you are burning calories with weightlifting, you burn the calories when you're doing your weightlifting, and you burn the calories afterwards, because it depends on how much you exert yourself. So if you're doing a really intense workout, you're going to really be burning those calories while you're doing it and afterwards. The bottom line is, the more calories burned during your workout, the more calories are burned after your workout. So if you burn like 3,300 calories, you're going to burn probably the same amount over a period of hours. It's not going to happen automatically. So here's another plus. Strength training helps keep the weight off. And that's because some of the things that I've just said. If you do strength training on a regular basis, they're recommending at least 20 to 30 minutes 2 times a week. That's just the beginning. You can do more than that. And you'll see women who are very lean looking as they get older. It's because they've been doing strength training. Cardio does work, but strength training can give other results. So I'm just going to give you a little research here. So, and there's always this question about whether, if I'm doing a diet, do I really need to exercise? And I get this all the time. Well, I can walk, and that's what people say, I can walk, but you burn the least amount of calories with walking. You have to do a lot of walking. So they did research on 3 different groups. One were people who just did their diet, okay? The other group they had a diet and they did cardio only. The next group were dieters that did full body resistance training on a regular basis, okay? So after 4 months, they found that the people who did their diet and did their weight training or resistance training lost a lot more fat than the cardio and just the diet. So people on average, they average it out, people who were doing weight training and diet lost about 18 pounds after 4 months. The ones who did diet and cardio lost about 14 to 16 pounds. So they were a close second. But the people who only did diet only, they only lost about 8 pounds. So you can see that dieting along with exercise of any kind is going to benefit you. So I was talking with someone the other day and they were saying something. Well, I read somewhere where if you're trying to lose weight, the diet is 80% of what you're going to do better if the diet plays a greater portion in your weight loss, and exercise is 20%. Well, you can see here from this research that's not even accurate, because they compared diet to people who had diet and exercise, and the people with diet and exercise did a lot better. So I can go back to her and say, here's some research. So I don't think that little statement you saw, I think she found it on Google, is really accurate. So there are lots of benefits to using strength training. And I do recommend that if you're going to start a strength training type of fitness, that you try to do it with a group of people, or at the Y. Some churches have their own gyms, or a paid fitness facility, and there are plenty of those. I'm not going to name all of those, that can show you how to lift the weights correctly, because you don't want to lift the weights and injure yourself, or you're seeing a video and you're trying to do everything they're doing in the video. You may not be at that level yet. I've noticed that in some videos they say, if you're just starting out, follow the people on the back rung. But if you're seasoned, you can follow the people at the very first part of the video, because they're usually the ones that are keeping up with the instructor. But these are just some of the benefits that weightlifting can do for you. We're going to talk about some more a little later on, well, the next time we meet. But this is in line with what we talked about on Monday. I know a lot of people didn't know about Monday, but we talked about how to keep your metabolic rate going. And we talked about cardio, and we talked about strength training. We all talked about water, just reviewing some things. We talked about how much water you need to drink. You need to drink, if you drink 2 glasses of cold water before your meals or any time during the day, that increases your metabolic rate also, because your body has to warm that water up, and it has to use energy to do that. So it increases how many calories it has to expand to warm that water up. We also talked about sleep, and how it's very important to have restful, quality sleep, 7 to 8 hours a night, because many people, are doing all that other stuff. They're doing their diet, they're doing their exercising, but if you don't get sleep, it just kind of shortchanges you. So we did talk about maybe, seeing your doctor or your provider if you're having some difficulties with sleep, because that's an important component of weight loss itself. The other thing we talked about was coffee, and it's about 100 grams of caffeine in 1 cup of coffee, but it can increase your metabolic rate about 11%. It's a low rate, but hey, you'll take what you can get combined with everything else, right? And I'm not recommending that people drink coffee all day, because coffee has some other things that may keep you up and you won't get any sleep. But it's good to know if you do drink coffee, you are getting some benefit from it. And my favorite is green tea. I love green tea, because that 3 o'clock low in the middle of the afternoon, I just get energized from drinking green tea, and it has antioxidants in it. And that they have something called catechins, and they help keep your metabolic rate up. And for about 2 hours after you drink the tea. So there are lots of other things you can do, and there's some things you shouldn't do, like skip meals. We talked about that. And skipping meals will just sideline your exercising, everything you're doing. Even if you're eating right and you're exercising right, skipping meals will prevent you from moving into the weight loss goals that you want, because it stalls your metabolism completely. So as we conclude here, are there any questions? No questions? So we will conclude, but I need to tell you something that's very exciting. My book is being published. Hi, Dr. Terrellon, how are you? And my book is being published, and it's going to launch next Wednesday at 12 p.m. 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. All right, I'll get back to you. Let me finish my statement. I will get back to you, Pam. And I am so excited. I've wanted to write a book for a long time, and this has happened. Thank you, Dr. Terrell, and congratulations to you too. I was able to sit in on your book launch. I thought it was really, really, really wonderful. I thought you did a really good job too. And I've invited all these people, and we're going to be on Facebook Live. And I know some people who I've invited aren't on Facebook, but we'll try and get the bit.ly link to them some kind of way. So stay tuned. We'll be putting out that announcement. I partially put it out already, but we'll be putting out those announcements in the next few days so that it'll be out there. You'll see it, and you'll be able to tune in with us. Now, Pam had a question about regular tea, or we call it black tea. I did not find anything, and I will research that for you. I did not find anything that said that black tea did increase your metabolic rate, but I will check on that for you, because I think they also said white tea and green tea would also increase your metabolic rate. Thank you, Pam. Thank you for your accolades about the book. Thank you. And I'm just praising God for his guidance and his wisdom, and just putting me in the medical moguls, because last year this time I didn't even have a thought as to what we were going to be doing. And I've learned so much, and I've enjoyed being in the medical moguls. I've had some challenges, as many people are, and so challenges are a normal part of life, and we grow from them. Because anything that we do, we are moving in the right, if we keep going, we're going to move in the right direction. So I am going to let you guys go, and like me on Facebook, put a tweet in for me on Twitter, Instagram. I'm on Instagram also, and on LinkedIn. And so I will see you next week this time, and I'll probably do one on Monday too. If not, I'll do it on next Wednesday if I have time. So thank you, ladies, and glad that you've come to visit us. Enjoy your evening. Until next week, have a wonderful week. And I'll keep you, stay tuned on Facebook and Instagram and our other platforms to know the date and time of our launch. Thank you so much. Any other questions before I go? I forgot. Okay. Good night, everyone.